I also liked things like He-Man and Masters of the Universe. And again, they got a new one now, but it's nothing like the old one. And a lot of people think the old one wasn't very good. Yeah, you know, at the time we sure thought it was great. I still think it's great. It just kind of had that old school kind of animation to it, and it just makes me feel real young to watch it again. I'm not that old. But I don't know, they made the cartoon to sell the toys. I think that's the way a lot of things were in the 80s. They made a toy line, then they made a cartoon to sell the toys. So the animation was kind of funky. But it's okay, I mean, I enjoyed it. I love Thundercats. To this day, I still love Thundercats. Can't tell you anything about all the episodes, but I can give you kind of an overview of the series and, you know, kind of what happens in the timeline. I love stories that have a beginning, a middle, and an end. It definitely makes it more interesting. It's one of those kind of cartoons where if you don't watch it every day, you miss one episode, you freak out and yell at mom and dad because they didn't record it for you, and now you have no clue what's going on, and now you have to wait all year to figure out what happened, what you missed. Or hope that one of your best friends was smart enough to record it on their VCR. Yay! I never got that lucky. So, but everything's on DVD now, so just a matter of buying those. Silverhawks was cool too, but not as cool as Thundercats. I liked Beetlejuice growing up, and that's probably one of the dumbest cartoons. Count Duckula was another one. I loved vampires even as a kid, and I think I had more enjoyment. I got more enjoyment from Count Duckula as a kid as I do now. Kind of corny now. But the weird thing is, as a kid, I had no concept of what these jokes meant. Being grown and watching the episodes again, I understand the jokes, which makes it lame, I guess. I don't know. So it's like cool, but kind of deflated a little. And I grew up watching My Little Pony, by the way, and My Little Pony rocked. But hey, I watched like Transformers and G.I. Joe and Glowworm and Fat Albert. You gotta love Fat Albert. I loved a lot of those cartoons that had the morals in the end, and you know, Bill Cosby's cool. He's a good family guy. Always has something good for the family to watch. I also I enjoyed X-Men. Yeah, I really got into X-Men when I was little. I used to watch the old X-Men cartoon on Fox, and I had a conniption if I missed anything because I was always lost. I had like hundreds of comic books outside in the garage. I stopped collecting. I started collecting manga, so I stopped collecting X-Men. It made no sense. It never ended. It's like a soap opera. It kind of lost interest after a while. You know, after about 5 years. Like The Tick. That was a fun cartoon, The Tick. But you know, I like cartoons that are more modern too. I mean, they're designed for real little kids, but because I plan on having children, there are that I think would be good for my children when I had some. You know, I like Arthur. I'm a big person for PBS, and the reason why I'm a big person for PBS is because living by myself for 3 years, I had no cable. I had a pair of rabbit ears, and all I could pick up was the local PBS station. I have watched so much Barney, you wouldn't believe it. I still hate that purple dinosaur. But it's either that or Dead Silence or the news. And I'm tired of watching all this negative stuff in the news, so Barney it is, you know. But anyway, Arthur, I like Arthur. And I noticed that every season, it has a new season, like every year, and it has new stuff from the mainstream. You know, like they have the dance game on it now for like DDR, because DDR got popular. The Harry Potter books now, you know, the Adventures of Henry Screever, I think it is. They have the Scare Your Pants Off books, which is supposed to be, I guess, like the Goosebumps books. Stuff like that. It's interesting. And I know it's not a cartoon, but there's just no way to outgrow Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. I mean, it's Mr. Rogers, man. I like Franklin, too. You can catch that on Noggin, most likely. That's the only place I've been able to see it since Noggin came into existence. But that's a nice little cartoon for kids. It's about a turtle. They have another one called Little Bear on Noggin. By the way, Noggin is a Nick Jr. channel. It's, you can find that. Check out your local cable, satellite, whatever you use to find what you're watching. And I don't know, I just like watching cartoons. I mean, I like watching grown-up stuff too. I mean, you know, I like watching movies and horror movies, and I like other grown-up TV shows, you know, but, you know. But I guess the roundabout point is you never have to outgrow cartoons. I once had a little boy ask me about outgrowing cartoons. Now, I used to work in a Japanese restaurant. I did the waitressing, the bussing, cashiering, answered the phones. My employers spoke okay English, but I apparently speak better English because that's my mother tongue. So I was always put out front with the customers so I could communicate with them. So, you know, we were one of those restaurants with the hibachi girls, and they do the tricks and, you know, juggle the knives and stuff and throw the shrimp in the air and catch them in their pockets and stuff. So that's kind of what we had. Well, I'm cleaning up the hibachi grill, or the table around, rather, and this little boy comes out of the restroom. His family's getting ready to leave, and he comes out and he says something about Pokemon or Dragon Ball Z or Yu-Gi-Oh! One of those popular little kid animes that I'm familiar with but don't really watch. And then I started saying things about anime that I watched. And he just was amazed. He must have been like 9. And he just was shocked to hear me talk about cartoons that I watched. He's like, "Aren't you a little old for cartoons?" I just started laughing. I was like, you know, you never have to be too old for cartoons. Who says that you have to stop watching them? I mean, okay, it looks grown up to not watch them, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you move out by yourself, watch whatever the heck you want, you know. Don't watch cartoons, watch cartoons. And I just think the world is just so negative these days, and cartoons are just a nice escape, and takes you back to that safe place when you were a kid, you know. But that was my rant on that. I want to defend cartoons. It's a nice little business to get into, I guess. I watch little cartoons here on YouTube and VO and MySpace and whatever, and you know, I'm just amazed at amateurs who do this stuff, and I feel so shamed because I feel that maybe I should have done it and I'll never be able to get with these people, but I can still enjoy them, and I guess that's all you need. Until next time, this is the Mad Hatter D. Watch your cartoons.